copper 2 plus 2 electron gives copper, and finally this is my cell, which is Zn plus copper 2 plus gives Zn2 plus copper. So for this reaction I know E naught is plus 0.76, because for the opposite reaction I know E naught is minus 0.76. Clear? And here I know E naught is, so for this E naught will be simple. Now suppose this was question 1. Suppose if I modify the question, this is say 1, this is 2, and I write the same thing as, now find E cell in this case, or say E naught cell in this case.
I don't know.
So in this case, the probable answers are E naught cell is say 0.42, and second answer is say E naught cell is 0.59. What is the actual answer? 0.59.
First one.
This one?
0.42.
0.42 and 0.59. So there are two popular opinions, right? In JEE, both the options will be given to you. Okay? So, let's start. Zn,
Potential to change.
for this I have been given as E naught equal to 0.76 volt. Right? Second is copper plus electron gives you copper. And for this I have been given E naught as minus 0.17. And the cell reaction is, what is the cell reaction? Basically in this case, you have to multiply this whole thing with 2. But remember, do not double E naught in this case. Never multiply E naught with the same number of moles. But if I ask you what will be the cell reaction, the cell reaction will be Zn plus copper 2 gives, so for this E naught will be 0.59 volt and not 0.42. Remember this thing. Never multiply E naught just like you multiply delta G naught. What you used to do in delta G naught 1, delta G naught 2, and on addition you just used to multiply delta G naught values. Right? But in case of E naught, never do it. Are we clear? So this was a question I wanted to give you because this is a mistake which most of the people do. Just write it down and write this in bold letters. Do not multiply D naught. So are we clear? Shall we go ahead? Let's do few more questions. So this is a question which is given to you as, for this reaction cerium 4 plus is changing to cerium 3 plus and cobalt is changing to cobalt 2 plus. For this whole cell reaction, you know E naught cell is this. If E naught cobalt 2 plus to cobalt is minus 0.28, calculate E naught for cerium 4 plus to cerium 3 plus. This is the question which is given to you. Do it. What is the answer which you are getting?
1.61.
1.61?
Yes.
This is the right answer. Simple enough. So write the two half reactions. Cerium 4 plus 1 electron gives cerium 3 plus. Say its E naught is X. Now cobalt, for this E naught will be 0.28. Clearly? Is it clear to you? So now, but E naught is still X. We are not multiplying it. This is clear? And this is nothing but clear. So if I give you any reaction now, you can find that it's E naught and you can find the E naught cell, right? Clear? Shall we go ahead?
Yes.
What is implied by delta G? If I say in terms of work, what is delta G? I know it's free energy change. In terms of work, what it will be? Useful work.
Which can do use amount of energy which can do useful work.
Useful work, right? Clear? Now what will be W electrical? N into F into E. Now what will be the N? Now one more thing. In this, what we take is W max is the PV work. Fine? And this is the electrical work. So I can say the PV work is going to be the negative of electrical work. So what I can say is, yeah,
Then why will it be negative?
because this delta G, the work is the PV work. It is not the electrical work. If you remember during the derivations, we always write the PV work as minus P delta V, right?
Yes.
So in delta G, what we can obtain is the maximum useful PV work, not the electrical work. And the work, summation of all these work should be equal to 0. So if I have electrical work as W electrical, WP will be minus of W electrical. Clear? So that's why you get this equation. Now one important thing is what this N is. For whatever reaction you take, the total number of electrons which are going to be cancelled is going to be N. We're going to do it further. Just write it down. Now, what we have done in thermodynamics is, if delta G for any reaction is negative, then we say the reaction is spontaneous. Now, what we have learned just now, it is also equal to minus N into F into E. This is not E naught, because this is not delta G naught. Again, don't get confused between delta G and delta G naught, fine? If a reaction is spontaneous, delta G has to be negative, not delta G naught. So, if a reaction is spontaneous, this whole thing has to be negative. Now, N is always positive. This is also positive. So, in this case, this has to be positive. So, I can say E cell has to be positive for a spontaneous reaction. Simple enough. So, suppose, don't write, just listen first. Suppose a question is given to you, Zn replaces copper 2 plus from CuSO4 solution to give ZnSO4 plus copper. And the second question is given to you as copper replaces ZnSO4 and gives CuSO4 and Zn. Getting my point? So which will be the reaction which is going to be possible? That reaction for which E cell is going to be positive. So you don't have to remember this thing now. Just calculate the E cell. If it is coming out to be positive, what you have assumed to be anode and what you assume to be cathode is right. And if you are getting E cell as negative, your assumption for the cathode and your assumption for the anode are wrong. So just reverse them. Simple enough. So up till now what we have done is, and what we said was E cell has to be positive if the reaction is spontaneous. This is clear to you?
Yes.
And we will do questions based on this, okay? Now, second thing is relation between E naught and K. So what we know is, don't write, just listen first. What we know is delta G naught equal to minus R into T into ln K. You know this thing from thermodynamics?
Yes.
Okay. Now this is also equal to minus N into F into E naught. So what I can say is E naught is equal to minus RT by NF ln.
Minus.
So what
So
the
minus-
minus
minus
get
cancel.
minus.
Yeah, RT by NF ln. This is clear now? Simple enough? So if I give you E naught, if I give you N, can you find what is K? Or vice versa, if I give you K, can you find E naught?
Yes.
Just have to plug in all the values. Simple enough?
So the T will be given.
Yeah, you will be given the temperature. Mostly it will be 298 Kelvin. 23 degrees Celsius, or 23 degrees Celsius or 25 degrees Celsius. Okay? This T will be given to you. What is the N? N is the number of electrons. For example, if I write Cu2 plus 1 electron gives Cu. So in this case, I can say N equal to 1 because number of electrons transferred is 1. Simple enough? Clear?
Yes.
Just copy it down. Everything is clear till now? Any doubts anyone is having? Shall we go ahead?
Yes, sir.
Now what will happen is, sometimes they will give us two half reactions. For example, so the case is if two half reactions combine to give a third half reaction. So in this case, the two half reactions are not combining to give another cell reaction, but a half reaction again. What is the difference between half reaction and cell reaction? In cell reaction, you don't have any electrons. But in half reaction, you always have some electrons. Getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So, suppose if this case is given to you, and what is given to you is, suppose they give you E01, they give you E02, and the question asked you is find what is E03. For example, let us say that, for example, say copper 2 plus electron gives copper 2 plus 2 electrons gives copper, and the third is copper plus electron gives copper. Fine? So these all are half reactions? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
How can we say these are half reactions? Every reaction is having electrons. Okay? So suppose I give you this as E01, this as E02, and I ask you what is E03. Say this is X, which is given. This is Y. You're not able to see it?
You can.
Okay. And say this has been asked to us. Say this is E03. So how will you find E03 for this reaction? This is the question which is asked now. Okay? That you have to find E03 for this reaction. When two half reactions are combining to give another half reaction. So in this case, come again.
Y minus X.
I'm not able to get you.
So it will be Y minus X.
Okay, you're telling the answer. Yeah, it is Y minus X in this case. But that will not be the case always. So what you have to do in this case is always add delta G naught. So what I will do is, for this case I will say delta G naught 1. This I will find delta G naught 2. So I can say delta G naught 1 is minus N1 into F into E naught 1. What is N1 for this reaction? 1.
1.
So I can write this as 1 into F into E1 naught is say X. Clear? Delta G naught 2. What is delta G naught 2? Minus N2 into F into E naught 2. So what will be N2? N2 is true because we have 2 electrons. Simple enough. And what is delta G naught 3? Minus N3 into F into E3 naught. What is N3? 1. So minus 1 into F into E3 naught. Are we clear? So what I am telling you is now, if I want to get this reaction, what I will do? Delta G2 minus delta G1 equal to delta G3 naught. This is delta G3 naught. I can say delta G3 naught equal to delta G2 naught minus delta G1 naught, as we used to do in thermodynamics. Simple enough. Clear? So now write the reaction. Minus 1 into F into E3 naught equal to minus 2 into F into Y plus 1 into F into X. So all this F will be cancelled. Then I can get E3 naught is x minus, or I can say it is minus x plus 2y. See, this is a case which was different from the case which we did earlier. What we did earlier was, they were two half reactions giving a cell reaction. And we never multiplied E naught by 2, right? Remember that case?
Yes, sir.
Now, this case is a different case. In this case, the two half reactions are combining to give a third half reaction and not a cell reaction. So if I have to find E naught for this, it is simple that I add delta G naught and get the equation, rather than directly adding E naught. So remember this thing, do not add E naught directly. Simple enough? Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Just write it down. Everyone is clear with the fact? Simple? Anyone having any doubts? Let's do a few questions. See, when I give you standard conditions, the E cell is nothing but E naught cell. So in that case, E naught cell has to be positive. Fine? Suppose say these two questions are given to you, and you have to determine whether what you have taken the reaction to be, or whether you have an appropriate oxidizing or reducing agent. For example, the second question what has been asked to you is H2O2 is the appropriate oxidizing or reducing agent for this reaction. Okay, all the data are given to you. Try solving them first, and I'm going to give you solutions for these. Start. Shall we do the first one? Everyone has copied the questions, right? So see, the question asked to you here is H plus capable of oxidizing silver to silver 2 plus? So, what will be the reaction at anode? Silver plus electron, right? And for this I know E naught is minus 0.8. Why? Because what has been given to me is the reduction potential, not the oxidation potential. Simple enough? Clear? Okay. Now, it has been given to me that H plus 1 electrons gives half H2. And the E naught for this reaction is 0. Or you can write it as 2H plus 2 electrons gives H2. Then also it is the same thing. Okay. Now, suppose if we say that the same thing happens, then if I find the E cell, or in this case it will be a E naught cell, what will be that? Addition of these two equations, 2, 2, 2. Do I multiply E naught by 2? No, because it is a cell reaction. Clear enough? Okay. So now what I will do, 2Ag plus 2H plus gives 2Ag plus H2. This is the reaction for the cell. How do we know it is a cell reaction? Because there are no electrons here. Are there any electrons? No. So it is a cell reaction and not a half reaction. Clear? So let's find what is E naught cell. What is E naught cell? The addition of these two, which is equal to minus 0.80 volt. Now if I say standard conditions, which implies since standard conditions, therefore I can say in this case E cell equal to E naught cell. Fine? And we say that E naught cell is coming out to be negative, or we can say that the E cell is negative, and thus we can say the reaction is not spontaneous. Now see, what is the conclusion which we got from this is, suppose I use hydrogen as a cathode and silver as anode, then the reaction is not spontaneous. What does it mean? That I have to use this as anode and use this as cathode. Simple enough. Everyone is clear? So what is the conclusion? We have to use this as cathode and we have to use this as anode. Simple enough. So in this way, you can predict. For example, suppose you are working in a lab and you don't know which cathode and which anode to take. Just simply you have these E0 values, because this will be a table which will be given to you. This is a standardized table. So you can simply look at E0 values, calculate E0, and you can choose what you have to select as cathode and what you have to select as anode. Simple enough. Shall we go ahead? Now suppose we take the second question. Now say H2O2 acts as reducing agent. What does a reducing agent do? Itself get oxidized and reduces others. So I'm writing it down. Itself gets oxidized and reduces others. Simple. Okay. So if H2O2 is getting oxidized, I2 will be getting reduced to I minus. Simple. So I have one equation is I2 is giving me 2I minus. This is the reduction, or this is the reaction at cathode. Simple. Okay. So what will be the reaction at anode? This will be the reaction. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
Why do we take this reaction? Because this is reduction, so this has to be oxidation. So in this case, what is being given to me? E0 is minus point. Minus, it is given to you directly. The same reaction. No, it will be plus. Plus 0.535. Plus 0.535.
Yes.
And in this case, E0 is minus 0.69 volt.
0.6.
Simple. So, if I take the cell reaction now, okay, the number of electrons are same, so I don't have to multiply anything. What will be the cell reaction? This will be the cell reaction, right? Okay. Now what we will do is, if this is the cell reaction, what will be the E0 cell? 0.535 minus 0.69. What is it coming out to be?
100.1.
Minus 1.225.
0.155 electron volt?
Yes.
0.155 volt, right? Fine. So, in this case, if I say if reaction is taking place under standard conditions, this equal to E, E not equal to E if the reaction is taking place at standard conditions. And what I know is, this is coming out to be negative. So it is not spontaneous. So I can say that H2O2 is not acting as a reducing agent and it will act as a oxidizing agent. Therefore, H2O2 acts as oxidizing agent. Simple enough. Anybody is having a doubt with this question? Everyone is clear with it? Just write it down. Say if this question is given to you. Predict whether copper plus will be disproportionating to copper 2 plus and copper. What is disproportionation? Same thing getting oxidized and getting reduced. Okay, do it now. So suppose if disproportion takes place, what will be the reaction? 2 copper plus gives. So if suppose this reaction takes place at standard condition, what we have to say is E0 has to be positive if this takes place at standard conditions, right? So what is my job is to find whether E0 for this reaction is positive or not. Can I do it? Or are you trying it once?
Trying.
Okay, try it once. See, listen. The first step is, always when you see these reactions, the values, Make it a habit of writing what is written. For example, if I take E naught, the moment I see E naught Cu plus Cu, I write Cu plus electron gives Cu E naught equal to 0.53. Second reaction I see, I directly write Cu2 plus 2 electron gives Cu. And third reaction, Cu2 plus electron gives me Cu plus. And for this, E naught is given to me as 0.15. I write all these equations. Now what is my target? Using these three equations, which are